What's good, y'all? Sixth element of hip hop. I'm your host, Reno Noir. This is your co-host, Stu Dog. What's happening, everybody?
Peace. Hang on. Having a little
Stu
difficulty
Dog
here
is here. He
with
just
some tech. I'm having some
he,
difficulty with some tech like you was.
he's a
Hang on.
little bit shy today.
Well, yeah, a little bit. I'm trying to get this heater right, man. This is
Lobo. Yeah,
cold
man.
down here.
It's getting
trying,
cold. It's
trying to
supposed
get
to be
this
like
heater right. Stu Dog
30
can't
tonight.
do nothing if he ain't warm.
You
Yeah, Stu Dog
know,
can't do nothing if he ain't warm. He got to be warm. Got to
got
be
to be
warm.
warm.
Yeah, he ain't warm.
Yeah,
Trying to
bruh.
get my heater situation going.
We got the
You know
wrong.
what I
God
mean?
damn it! I hate when I do that. We got
But
the wrong background up. Motherfuckers don't know where they are. They're like, am I in the right spot?
like, am I standing in the
That's
right
why I like
spot?
to throw that back there. I like to throw that thumbnail, the same thumbnail you see when you click on it. You're gonna see the background here, so you know what you watching. But what are we watching today, y'all? Salute Slade Derpy in the building, man. Yeah, we got a good show tonight as always and stuff. We got the old DCU clicking and clacking, bringing us Batman. We finally got Batman in the DCU, actually for the first time, completely revealed and
Yes.
in the DCU. Now you know it was. I'm not gonna front. It was just a silhouette, but technically that's Batman in the DCU doing what he does. Appreciate you. Oh yeah, Sonic 3, man. That's what it is, bro. That's a dope.
Yeah, that's best movie in America right now. Keeping it a
It's a
buck.
dope. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
the
good
best
one.
movie in America. Yeah, I watched it the other day. I spun it up on the Nvidia Shield. And listen,
Mhm.
whether I saw it on my couch or in the movies, that's a damn good Sonic movie, bro. Actually, Sonic is the
That's the
best.
best one. I thought it was,
That's the
yeah, I thought it
best.
was the best of the
That's the
three.
period. You know what? All three of them are the best video game movies we've ever saw. You
Mario was
can't
pretty
name another.
good. Mario was pretty
Mario
damn
was all
good.
right. Mario was
Uh,
okay, but it wasn't as good as Sonic.
Pokemon was pretty good.
Pokemon was
Pokemon
okay,
was
but
pretty
it
good.
wasn't good as Sonic. Pokemon is only really good to Pokemon fans. But other than
Yeah.
that, Sonic
Oh,
got all of them beat. Sonic got
Shadow.
them
I
beat.
mean,
Sonic's top of the bunch right now.
yeah. My my
Until they
my
come out
only
with something better.
complaint. My only
Wait,
complaint with
no,
Sonic
no.
was the first one, and a little bit of the second one. They got better as they went on, but the first one had too
Yeah,
much of the humans, too much going on with
yeah, it
James
did.
Marsden and this girl. Like I
It
want to
did.
see
Yeah, yeah.
Sonic and Tails and Knuckles and Shadow, and that's what I think the third one gave us was more anthropomorphic creatures, less humans.
Which is what I think the Transformer movie should be like. We need more
Yes.
Transformers, less humans. Speaking of video games, have you been watching Next Level on Prime?
Oh yeah, yeah. You know
Yo,
my favorite one is Pac-Man.
really? Mine's is the
Yes, that
one
shit was
before that.
hard.
Mine's is the one before that. The Warhammer 40,000. That shit,
Warhammer was good. Yeah, that
listen,
was crazy.
that Warhammer one, that was, bruh. I was
Yeah,
blown
dog.
away by that, man. That blew me away. The animation,
Oh
the
yeah.
sequences, everything about it. And I play Warhammer. So that's what just blew me away about the whole thing. Man. It was
Well,
just
that's dope that you
utterly
play it. Yeah,
dope,
because I
bruh.
don't play it, so you know it didn't. I didn't. You know, for me, it's just an anime movie. I don't get no like connection to the game or nothing like that because I don't play Warhammer, sadly. But let's see. Raw Talk said last weekend with my overseas family, they're going back to France tomorrow, so we're out. Okay, so he's not coming tonight. Peace. Chill with the fam. And but yeah, dog. We just met the DCU new Batman in Creature Commando's sixth episode. Gave DC fans a stormy silhouette look at the Dark Knight, and it does not look like Pattinson to me. Uh, you know, it definitely gave
I
me
don't think it's gonna be Pattinson. I really
beefier
just don't.
vibe. I don't think so. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think so.
yeah, it's not gonna be
God, I hope
Pattinson.
not.
Because remember, James Gunn said That is Elseworlds. That's a different.
Yeah.
That's Batman, but
Well,
it's in
no,
that
but
universe. But
we
it's
knew
just a
that.
different Batman. We know that. Yeah. So we know
We
it
knew
can't be
that.
Patterson. Yeah. Yeah.
No,
We know
we
it
knew
can't be.
that. But in the past few weeks, they've been going back and forth with rumors that Matt Reeves and Gunn are trying to put Pattinson as the DCU guy, or that Gunn wants it and Reeves doesn't. And there's all these stupid rumors going around, and but Gunn has definitely, squashed a lot of those. BDBGP, salute. How you living? How you
Yo,
living?
BDBGP, what up? Corey
Corey
Agile.
Adjun. Yeah, man. But yeah, no. So you're right. We knew that, but there's been a lot of hoopla about it. So just want to clear that up. But yeah, while much of the buzz around DC Studios has fans looking forward to Superman, in July, but we're watching James Gunn's adult animated series, Creature Commandos, as well, and that has been very good. Um, Episode 6, we learned the origin of Dr. Phosphorus, the
Yes.
glowing skeleton dude. Yeah,
Glowing
that
skeleton.
was
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
dope. That was dope. We start out with and we see Gotham. I mean, so right away I was like, yo, this is Gotham. Like I peeped that right away. When the episode starts, it's definitely Gotham. It's not it's Creature Commandos, but they're like, okay, we're going to Gotham right now. And I didn't know that's where Phosphorus was from. But
Yes, he is. Yep.
yeah, so you hear kind of the orchestral Batman the animated series music and in the background, and you see that skyline, and so you kind of know right away. And there's a shot of like a gargoyle overlooking the city, and it just kind of sets the stage for Batman's presence. And I right away was
Well,
like, okay,
if you're a real DC fan and a really good Batman fan, before the first time you seen the Creature Commando lineup, you knew who Dr. Phosphorus was because he is a primary enemy of Batman. So, I
a
mean,
word. I didn't know that.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I never
Yeah.
knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. But yeah, they I do know, like, in the same spirit as the previous episodes, which kind of like rubber band from the past to the present and fleshing out the backstories of the characters. We had the bride's backstory, GI Robot. We saw Weasel. Then we saw Frankenstein, and now this one was the Dr. Phosphorus joint, and it gave us a lot of insight into how Alexander James Sartorius went from being a scientist coerced into working with the mob to becoming a walking nuclear skeleton that he is today.
Yeah. He's a
And you might wonder why he can
man.
wear clothes and that the clothes don't get burned up and shit like that. But he can actually control when he ignites, when he's going to be burning. Like, he's glowing all the time, but if he doesn't want to burn, he doesn't burn. So, but if he wants to touch you and just, or he wants his body to emit heat, it'll be nuclear heat that will like melt fucking steel in seconds. What was you going to say?
No, I said he was being one of Batman's enemies. He's I mean, well, you got to be a deep Batman fan, but he wanted to build a nuclear power plant in Gotham, and they denied him. And then the plant that he had built had a meltdown. He got caught in the meltdown, which gave him those parents and the transparent burning skin. But he generates radiation, so like that's what nuclear. That's all nuclear radiation is. It's just radiation
Right.
because you got three types of burns, and
Yep.
he is they, when he fell into uh I guess the reactor or whatever it was, uh, they thought he was dead, but when he came out, he's sort of like Atomic Skull, but
Mm.
he's just different. He's different than Atomic Skull, but they're sort of almost the same. I mean, we had that you know discussion before about you know uh, in the comic book world they copy each other, with villains and
Yeah. Yeah.
heroes and stuff like that, and that's
Yeah.
that's just what he is to me. I've always thought of him as just another version of Atomic Skull, but he's been around a long time. And Rupert Thorne was supposed to help him Well, Rupert Thorne was the one that forced him to get the plant pushed out of Gotham and built somewhere else, like on the outskirts of Gotham or something like that. And he just became a villain after that. But he's very he's just you know he has superhuman endurance and a lot of radiation manipulation. So, like you said, he can make the radiation stronger or weaker, which will burn the clothes off of his skin or something like that. And when he was fighting, what's his name in the kitchen? Rick. When him and Rick was fighting,
Mm.
and he kept burning him. And then every time he would punch him, he was burning his hands. So he picked up the pan. He started. I thought that was ingenious the way he did that.
Hell yeah,
Um,
that was
but he
clever.
is one of Batman's older enemies. Yeah, he is one of Batman's older enemies. But Batman has
Right,
a large rogue gallery, and a lot of people complain about Batman's rogues gallery being so big. But
it's the best
you know,
one. Um,
it is the best one.
Atomic Skull
It's like
was a
Spice.
Superman villain. Yeah, and he came out right before I was born in 1978. Atomic Skull.
Yeah, and then,
Uh,
yeah, Thomas
but
Skull and
yeah,
they're pretty much like we were saying before, how they copy each other. You
yep.
know what I mean? How the comic book. Yeah, so
Oh
that's all
shit!
he really is.
It say Dr. Phosphorus came out in 77. Atomic Skull came out in 78. So we had it
Mm.
backwards. Skull, Atomic Skull
Oh,
was
I don't know who. Yeah, I don't know who was first or last. I just
inspired
know they're
by
similar to each. Yeah, I just
yeah,
know they're similar to each other. They remind me of each other. I don't know
yeah,
who
of
was first or
course.
last.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but they just remind. But if you look at Atomic Skull, he looks like Phosphorus a little bit.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, there's definitely a atomic. I mean, come on, it's a skeleton with nuclear you know, gamma shit all over him. And the atomic skull, what's the here's atomic skull, here's Dr. Phosphorus, but yeah, I mean, there's the flaming green skull,
Yeah, yeah. See the yeah,
you know, and then
yeah. Look at
atomic skull himself, he's well, let's see if we got let me see some let me get some atomic skull images. Because these are new characters to me. I'm not really familiar with Atomic Skull or Doctor Phosphorus too
Atomic
much.
Skull is dope.
There
The
he
only
is.
person
Yeah,
I've
I
ever
mean,
seen Atomic Skull battle Superman a lot that I've seen
pretty
in the
damn.
comics and in the
Yeah,
cartoons.
he's
Pretty
yeah,
close. Yeah, look,
yeah.
pretty close.
Oh wow, look at
Hmm.
this little crossover here. We have Marvel and DC with Red Skull versus Atomic Skull. But yeah, I mean, he's pretty close. Sometimes he's purple, sometimes he's green. It looks like here, but yeah, definitely a Superman villain. And then you have Doctor Phosphorus, which is also a green flaming skull. That is a Batman guy. Yeah, pretty interesting. But it was a great episode. And so we're chilling, and at the midpoint of the episode, it's revealed that what initially started as the nuclear fusion treatment to cure cancer was transformed into a method of torture that the mob is using to kind of use against Dr. Phosphorus. And so they kill his spoiler alert, everybody, this channel. So that's how we get down. Spoiler alert, they kill his wife, they kill his kid, and they make him look at the bodies and they make him slosh around in their blood, and they just torture the fuck out of him because they believe that he uh gave them fake statistics and lab results and experiment results. And so they kill his family, and then they bring him to his lab, and then they find his notes and shit, and the guy walks up and he's like, hey, turns out they weren't fake. And
Mm.
and they already killed his fucking family before they realized that they weren't fake in the first place. So it was real tragic. Seeing that was crazy. But definitely, some real Gotham gangsterism. Uh, it wasn't like a Falcone or Penguin or anything like that. It was just like a mob guy, and they're pretty much torturing him, and then we see a silhouette sort of pop out on the roof, and this is him. This is Batman. So I again, it's not that's not Pattinson, right? That's a bulky. That reminds me of the older Batman, which
Remind me of Batfleck.
Yeah, that too, because he's more wide. But Batfleck reminded me of the Frank Miller, the rather the Dark Knight,
Yeah,
right? The old school
yeah, he
Dark
did.
Knight. And
Yeah, he
so,
did.
yeah, like the DCU Batman is supposedly going to be an older Batman that has a son, Damian Wayne, and so it's not going to be a young, Pattinson's a young dude. It's like a year two situation. He's just new to being Batman. They're not jumping him to adopting Damian Wayne by next year. I mean, come on. So a lot of people are, oh no, it's gonna be Pattinson. There's all these rumors flying. Dead that shit. But yeah, so the silhouette comes, Batman's there, and he's got the lightning in the background, and we see but unfortunately, the silver of the sliver of blue lightning on Batman's imposing frame doesn't really give away any details of the suit design as far as colors, bat symbol, logo, anything like that. Much of the lookout's going to be. But speaking with the Rotten Tomatoes guys there, Gunn revealed that we just got a glimpse of the Batman, of course, and it wasn't, because he wasn't really ready to commit to the design yet. So they're not decided on the design. So that I'm to me that's encouraging, because I don't want to see another black suit Batman. It's not that's not cool, and that I don't like the black suit Batman. I mean, it made so much more sense to me when we saw Keaton in the black suit. That black suited Batman made so much more sense than him stalking the night in bright gray and blue and bright yellow. But after movie after movie after movie after movie, decade after decade, show, cartoon, no matter what, when we see Batman now, he's got the black suit. So I really want to see a live action blue and gray suit. And I mean, Batfleck did the blue and gray. He did a. You could say it was blue and gray at some points. It was a mudded gray with a really navy dark grayish blue. But I'm talking about popping gray and blue, like popping yellow, like old school comic book Batman. This guy or this guy would be fine.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I
that
want
would
to
be
see.
dope. Yeah, that'd be dope.
We've never seen that in live action, or that guy. Even the white eyes. I really want to see the white eyes too in a Batman. That's something we haven't gotten to see.
Nah, that's something we don't really get to see. Yeah.
And there's no reason why live action Batman couldn't have white eyes. It could be some sort of tech. I mean, they Christian Bale did it at one point when he had like the tech, and he had some like a screen come on and shit. So yeah, I mean, there's no reason we can't get that. And so I think Gunn will be the guy to do it, if anybody. But he said, Gunn said, when they first showed the episode to me, there was a lot more Batman. So Gunn dialed back the Batman that they put in Creature Commandos. They said basically Gunn saying like he might have jumped in and knocked some dudes out. We might have really gotten to see a lot more of his costume design. And Gunn, he said, and I said, I'm not ready to commit to that. More silhouette. End quote. So yeah, it kind of sucks. Let me see.
And I made them into a successful business.
James Gunn. And I'm Lori, and here are some of our favorite references and Easter eggs from episode 6 of Creature Commandos. When they first gave it to me, we saw a lot more Batman. And I would say, I am not ready to commit to that. I'm not ready to commit to that. I'm not ready to commit to that. So I'm just like, more silhouette. And I think it's a great way to show that Batman does exist. He already exists in this universe. Just like when we come to the Superman movie, we see the Superman already exists. He's already known by the people in Metropolis. And so, yeah, he's,
So yeah, he already exists. He's already known by the people of Metropolis, Superman. So Batman's going to already exist, already be known by Gotham. It's not going to be an origin story, right? They're not young guys. They're not new guys. We've seen that movie how many times, right? A gajillion. Every movie is that. Every movie is that.
Every movie, yeah.
Even, you know,
and then sometimes they make it so damn involved. We got to do another movie to even get an adventure.
right. Just the whole first movie is an origin. And
Yeah.
then, you know, we got to wait for the sequel.
we don't need to hear the origin story again.
Right.
So it's just the way to introduce that is a part of this universe. He's an important part of this universe, and he has an impact on it, including defeating such pretty dangerous, scary people like Phosphorus. It's pretty tough. This is the DCU Batman. Listen, I gotta say, I just love Batman. I love him. I've loved him since I was a little kid. He's one of my.
Yes, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody that's a real fan of Batman, you know, making Batman shit.
Favorite characters. I've gone on record in the past. When I was in Marvel, saying my favorite character is Batman. I love him, you know. And we're gonna do great things with him. He's the most popular superhero in the world, and I can't wait for people to see more of him, along with Superman and together.
Alex, you ain't going nowhere.
Superman and Batman, he said, together in his universe. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the DCEU attempted it, putting Batman and Superman together. It wasn't really well received. You know, also I don't, they're not going to be fighting. They're not going to be enemies at all in this in Reeves. And they'll already know each other when we see them. When we do come across Batman, they'll already know each other. It won't be a big introduction. It won't be like they're meeting for the first time or any of that. It'll probably be like on some, hey Bruce, on some, first name shit. So Rupert Thorne, that's the name of the mob guy.
Yeah, Rupert.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rupert Thorne. He's one of the. I think Rupert is a. Oh shit. It's a lot about Rupert Thorne. Batman, listen, Gotham has a lot. There's a lot going on in Gotham. Even when we're talking about Penguin and all the crime families that are in Gotham, it's a lot going on in Gotham, man. Like not as much as Metropolis. Metropolis is like you get there, it's sunny, it's bright, Superman's flying around. You can't really get much, get away with much. If you ever read One Bad Day, that they did all of all the Batman's major role villains like Killer Croc, Penguin, Clayface. There was one instance that I read where they were talking about Flash, and they were saying how like you can't get away with anything in the city that Flash protects. And they were like, look, he's on it. And he's so fast. And it's like before you know it, there's like we tried to go there and commit a crime and got caught instantly. So we stay out of there. And then they were talking about Batman, how he protects Gotham. And they were saying how Batman sets him up. It's like Batman will let us go for weeks and plan it out and then just catch us all in the act. Like they was just, but they was like they're like Superman and Flash, you can't really go to their cities and really do much because they're on it. They're on it harder. They said Batman's on it, but he's just more slick with it. And when Batman makes you think you're getting away with it, and the next thing you know, you're not.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, Rupert Thorne, he's torturing Phosphorus here.
Traditional gangster, and needed a traditional gangster to be the ultimate foil for Phosphorus. And needed somebody that was really terrible so that Phosphorus could do what he does, which is really bad. You can never listen. He had a bad moment. He was radioactive, and he did what he did. But played by my friend Ben Davis, who is Dutch in Red Dead Redemption. Wonderful voice actor, wonderful actor. He was also in Guardians 2. He did the Belko experiment with me. I've known Ben since the early 2000s.
Is he going to be Rupert Thorne?
We were both involved with a theater company at that time. And Ben is also the one who introduced me to Chris Pratt. I know Chris because of Ben.
Don't mess with Rupert Thorne. But yeah, that was a pretty fucked up episode. I mean, all of them are. I mean, Creature Commandos has been absolutely rated R, absolutely, fearless, and definitely for the adult fans. So I got to give it up for him on that.
I do, man. And that's how you can tell he's a real comic book fan. Like,
Yep.
To mention Rupert Thorne, to do Creature Commandos the way he did with the select people that Creature Commandos is. That's a lot, man. That
Yeah.
says a lot about him being it. Even when he did Guardians of the Galaxy, like you were saying, I think it was a week or two ago. He was like, "Yo, like Guardians of the Galaxy, nobody knew about them unless you were a hardcore Marvel comic book fan." And
Mm-hmm.
now look where he bought them. Look where they're at. And the original Guardians of the Galaxy is not even the ones we see on the movie screen. You know what I mean?
No.
So he bought that crew into existence.
Oh yeah. Yeah, brought them into popularity.
Mhm.
He did a lot with a lot of the team comic or obscure teams. I mean, Suicide Squad, even Peacemaker and them and shit. And but it was just dope what he said when he was like Batman or Superman already exists in this universe. Like when we, or no, he said, yeah, Batman already exists in this universe. Like when we come to the Superman movie and we see Superman already exists and is already known by the people of Metropolis. That's something we haven't really seen yet, man. I'm excited to see that because that's gonna feel like a comic book. That's gonna feel like something that's made for comic fans, and we have not had that in Hollywood. I know people don't understand when I say this sometimes, man, but Marvel has not made movies for comic fans. Those Marvel movies are made for the casual audience. They just are using characters from comic books. That's it. They're using characters from comic books, making movies for the casual audience to cast the widest net, sell the most tickets. But they're not concerned with source material accuracy or anything like that. And they definitely aren't adapting actual stories from the comics. They're just using the characters from Marvel and making their own Hollywood stuff, which is cool for a while, but then you run into what they're calling superhero fatigue, which is just Marvel cookie cutter movie fatigue. It's the same origin story, the same, villain does this, hero does that, villain is likable, blah 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 blah. It's all the same, kind of a comedy, it's the same formula over and over and over, and we keep seeing it over, and people are just getting tired of that. And there's no reason to do that if you're adapting comics, because comics are not that way. Comic books are very different. They're all very unique. The stories are very different. You could almost classify them in different genres almost every time. There's no way to like just cookie cut. Imagine, comic books have been around so long, so many thousands and thousands of issues. They have to be unique, otherwise they wouldn't be able to continue doing that. So if you just wanted to adapt comic stories, you'd have shit to do forever. If they were just adapt a specific Iron Man story, they would have countless Iron Man stories to make. But instead, they got all their favorite Iron Man shit from all across the Marvel universe and crammed it into the movies. So now there's nothing else to do. You've used it all up. You shot your load. You were supposed to, put it in bit by bit, trickle it in by actually, and the simple way to do that is just adapt a story, adapt another story. And that way you have fan recognition. People are coming already passionate about it, built-in fan bases. They bring more people. This whole thing that you have to instantly please everyone with the first movie is ridiculous. Hollywood never, movies were never like that before. When we were growing up, a movie was a movie. If you liked it, you liked it. It wasn't made for everyone. It was just made for fucking the people that, they like that movie. Now they want to make every movie please everybody, and it's ridiculous. You get this really. That's why you have statements from Martin Scorsese the MCU is not cinema, shit like that. Like
It's not.
cinema, yeah, it's not.
At some
It's like
point,
a theme park.
yeah, because cinema is like you gotta look at it like this. When you make a movie, no matter what you are, who you are, or to nowadays what you represent or what you don't represent, it should come out in a movie that you like. So you should find some way to find ties with it because it's universal. So you don't have to go over the edge and specifically put certain things in there and specifically make characters this or that so that everybody can feel included. People were feeling included before that. I mean,
And you don't have to
they were
include
already
everybody.
doing.
Everybody ain't
You
gotta
don't
like
have to
it.
include it, right? Listen, everybody at one point I can find if I walked around this planet, I can find an African American person that likes Star Wars. I can find a white person. I can find a gay person, a lesbian person. I can find a short person, a tall person, a big person, a small person.
A woman,
No
a
matter
man.
what, or a woman, a man, right? No matter what criteria you gave me, I can find somebody that likes Star Wars. Now, if I line them all up, that means you got one of every person that likes it. And then if I told them to go find people that would like them, they would do it. So that's my point. You don't have to make things or say, well, I'm including everybody. That's a cop out. That's just a way to
Yeah.
exploit the movement, the LGBTQ. That's a way. And if I was those movements, I wouldn't stand for it. I'd be like, don't exploit us. We like Star Wars, and that's what we like. Or we like this, and that's what we like. But you don't have to exploit us for it. Like
Right.
they want to exploit them and make as much money off of them as they can.
Pandering.
And yeah, it's to the
And then I
point where
think
it's
it's
sickening.
offensive to all those groups because if they like Star Wars already, it didn't have to be made special for them. They just like Star Wars. So
No,
you're saying,
they just like Star Wars, right?
now you're saying they got to be special. They don't like that.
Right. Yeah. No, and
Well,
that's worse than saying, oh well, I'm not including somebody. Like that's even worse because now you plan on people's intelligence,
right.
and that's not fair. That's not fair to anybody. Give people what they like. I mean, if they already like something, why change it? Right?
Yeah, there's no reason.
There's no
And
reason to
Star
change it.
Wars and Marvel were already very diverse, very forward thinking, very progressive, and
Mm,
they don't need this big overhaul like there's some, misogynistic racist IPs to begin with. Didn't make any
right.
sense.
All right. And like you always say, Star Wars always had strong female characters.
Hmm.
So why do we have to invent new ones? Or why do we have to invent something that was just so powerful they can't be overpowered by any male whatsoever? When you have your most powerful males who are the most powerful, they get overpowered. Makes no sense,
Hmm.
man.
Well,
There's no
there's
balance.
there's rumors, very very like just a whisper out there that Disney may be thinking about selling Star Wars, and George Lucas may be thinking about buying it back.
That would be great. I wish he would have
That
never
would
sold it.
be
George could have hired, in my opinion, George could have kept his studio
So
and just he could have hired Filoni and them to just come in and take over and do the day-to-day operations. And I get well, I watched an interview why he was saying like, look, making these movies takes up a lot of my time. And I think he had just had like a young son or something like that. And he was
mhm.
saying like, I want to spend some time with my family. If I'm always directing movies, I can't. But I don't think he realized that, I can hire somebody to oversee these operations and pay them and still make Star Wars movies and still make money. I
Yeah.
mean,
Check out what's this channel? Celeb Prisma. I'll go ahead and subscribe. There you go. And let's see, he said bop bop bop. Ooh. All right.
I made the decision to sell the company, the Star Wars. I made that decision because I looked at the future.
I looked at the fact that I was going to have a baby. I looked at the fact that I was married, and I looked at the fact that I wanted to build a museum, and I looked at the fact that I wanted to make experimental films. So I was interested in doing a film that could affect kids, and I studied mythology and everything. I just said, I'm going to make a modern myth.
What really happened to the Star Wars legacy after George Lucas handed it over to Disney? Mike Lucas once described Disney as white slavers. And what did he mean by that shocking statement? Is Kathleen Kennedy's leadership a bold vision for the future, or the reason fans are abandoning the galaxy far, far away? And why are there whispers that Bob Iger might sell Star Wars altogether? We're diving deep into the scandals, controversies, and hidden truths behind Disney Star Wars. This isn't the story you've heard before. It's the one they don't want you to know. Can Star Wars be saved, or has Disney taken this beloved franchise past the point of no return?
Woo! Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
question, bro.
Yeah, I mean, Iger. You know, the thing is, Star Wars was all about merch, and these movies come out, and the merch don't sell. Don't nobody want Rey figures. Don't nobody want Acolyte figures. Don't nobody want Book of Boba Fett figures. Don't nobody want Kenobi show figures. People barely buying Mandalorian figures. That's the only ones that are selling. Don't nobody want that's it. Like, ain't nobody buying Snoke. Ain't nobody buying the toys or merch of none of the sequels. And you know, that's their bread and butter. Disney bought Star Wars for the merchandising. If you watch the movie Spaceballs, they told you that's what Star Wars was about. Merchandising. Because that's where the billions are. You got millions, hundreds of millions in the movies, man, but there's bagillions and billions in merch. So if they're not selling the merch, they're not getting their money's worth, and they need to make a shift. Because it's not just about the movies not doing well, or the show's not doing well. They're really feeling the pain in the merch department. Because I'm a collector, as you guys can see. Like, I buy all this the different MCU, DCU. I don't really buy any of the movie figures. It's the same thing with Marvel. I don't collect any of the MCU figures, Eternal figures. Those sat on the shelves. Nobody bought them. Nobody bought any of the toys from anything MCU since like Endgame, and people were barely buying those. So again, Disney is trying to capitalize off the merchandising of these IPs, and they're not getting it there. That's why I have hope that Disney's not going to. One of two things: they're either not going to hold on to these IPs, or they're going to change the way they're doing them.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no middle ground. They have to do one or the other. So that brings me some hope, because I know that they're all about money, and if they can't make the money, they'll make a change. But Gunn said that's just a way to introduce that Batman is part of the universe. He's an important part of the universe, and he has an impact on it, including defeating such pretty dangerous, scary people like Dr. Phosphorus, who is pretty tough. So that's pretty cool. And they definitely, he's definitely acknowledging the Batman, not the Batman, but Batman in the DCU. So it's here. It's official. Now, speaking of the Batman, Matt Reeves could make history with the Batman too, by casting the son of Arnold Schwarzenegger to play Mr. Freeze. That would be some historical shit.
But does he have an accent like Arnold?
I'm sure you could rock one. Patrick Schwarzenegger addressed the rumors on his X account. And this caused a surge in anticipation surrounding how cool it would be if the 31-year-old star was cast to fill his father's shoes in the, as the rumored villain of the Batman suit, Mr. Freeze, which is a very, very loose rumor you should take with a very, very, very tiny grain of salt. But it would be a funny coinky dink. It would be fun. It was some, and yeah, I would agree. I would want to see him rock the accent, but only as a bad joke, because unlike you, I was not impressed by that movie in the least. I was pretty pissed. But what I'm happy about though is Clayface We got Clayface updates for you. The Clayface movie. We have the Lobo's role in Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and a lot of big DCU rumors to share with you today, including these things here. So last month, DC Studios announced plans for the Clayface movie that we've been anticipating for a couple of years now, talking about it like this was something we at Six Element foresaw years ago. But the movie will arrive in theaters on September 11th, 2026. And the Midnight Mass, Dr. Sleep, Mike Flanagan has penned the screenplay, but no director or star has been announced. We don't know which version of the Clayface villain it's going to be, because there's two main ways they could go in that regard. Obviously, the big clay blob that we saw in Creature Commandos that we've already seen in the DCU, that's part of the DCU now. But this is an Elseworlds thing that's not part of the DCU, also not part of the Matt Reeves the Batman universe. This Clayface thing is its own thing. So very good chance it's going to be Basil Carlo Clayface, the actor, the original, the first Clayface, who was not a clay shape-shifting blob, but an actor who could change his face in disguise. And he was a killer. But that would be like a horror version. And exciting news out of DC Studios today is Clayface, a DCU story from a script by Mike Flanagan, has been officially greenlit. It does premiere in 2026, but there's speculation of whether it's going to be part of the DCU and be the same universe as the DCU, the Brave and the Bold Batman, or whether it's going to be its own Elseworlds thing. It's definitely not part of the Batman, the Matt Reeves universe, though. That we know for sure it's not.
I like the Matt Reeves. I think they should just leave it. Just leave it. If you can get 3-4 movies out of it, do it. Make them good and just do it. It doesn't have to be connected. It would, and like I said, it would make sense for DC because you got different Earths. So
right,
it could be just Batman from a different, like Earth 15 or something like that. Could be the whole. You know what I mean? Like he could, you don't have to expand on it. You can just keep it at Batman, keep it to his little Rose Gallery, and keep it moving.
Yeah, I mean, and I agree. They should definitely leave it to be its own thing. It's a great universe. It's got its own style. It's got that noir vibe to it, and I don't want to see that vibe. I don't want to see that black suit Batman, that noir dark 7 type style thing in the DCU. The DCU is a more colorful, a brighter, more comic booky universe that, like I said, I hope to see a gray and blue Batman, looking like old school Batman. So just because we haven't seen that in so long, we haven't seen that since the 60s, really. And I don't count the Affleck blue and gray. But also we have news about the Aquaman star from the DCEU, Jason Momoa, is going to play Lobo, as we broke the news. But Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is obviously not a Lobo movie, right? So Lobo is going to be in the movie, but he's only going to, what we found out is that he's only going to be filming for a few weeks. So it's not a cameo where it's just like he pops in and he's I'm Lobo. It's not a big role either, where he's like a co-star. So
right,
he'll be in the movie with a medium-sized role. That just basically means that's our introduction, first appearance of a character. So, but the way the DCU works, the DC Universe cinematic joint, is that it works more like how comics work. So they'll introduce a character here, but then he may get his own series, right? He may get his own movie. He may, just like how comics are, if they debut a character in a Superman comic, right? And he ends up being a really popular character. People write in, they really love the character. Then that character might get his own title. Or first, he'll probably show up in a few more Superman comics. And then if they really like, he'll show up in another character's comic. And then if he's really popular, he'll get his own comic, shit like that. So think of it along those lines. If Lobo is well received and people go nuts for it, they'll start talking about doing a Lobo show or a Lobo movie or putting him in other movies, right? Or maybe do a team up or so put him in the Bane and Deathstroke movie, shit like that. But yeah, multiple attempts have been made to bring Lobo to the big screen over the years. Guy Ritchie, Brad Payton both took stabs. I really wanted to see a Guy Ritchie Lobo, but you had The Rock, Dwayne Johnson even circling the bowl for that one. But 2018 we had Michael Bay looking to do a Lobo. So all these different filmmakers that I feel were absolutely the wrong people to do a Lobo project. The only guy that I think would have made a good Lobo movie was the Guy Ritchie. He's the one that did, Sherlock Holmes and other, the Robert Downey Jr. version and other cool movies like that.
I don't know, Reno. I don't know if I can see that.
Huh?
Nah, I said, I don't know, man. Lobo. Nah, Jason Momoa all the way. I'm sorry. I can't think of nobody else that could play Lobo that would even
Yeah, no, I'm talking about directors to make the movies. Guy Ritchie to make the movie.
Oh, to make the movie, I'm down with whoever directed. Just make it good. Whoever direct. I'm like casting wise, I can't see nobody else.
Casting, it has to be Momoa to play the Lobo.
Yeah, it has to be. But director wise, I wouldn't give a damn. Listen, man, you can give it.
Well, no, if I did mention The Rock, but I mean as like directors, Michael Bay, the guy that made the first Transformers movies, I don't want to see him doing a Lobo movie. Brad Payton, I don't want to see him doing The Rock. I don't want to see him doing Lobo. Guy Ritchie, the guy that made a lot of really cool movies like Rock and Rolla, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, those kind of cool movies. Snatch, the Robert Downey Jr. That guy made some cool movies. Who?
Gold del Toro. What's his name? Gold del Toro. The Toro.
Oh, Guillermo del Toro. Yeah.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro. Yeah,
he's got a weird style, bro. He I don't know. His style is too quirky and too whimsical. He's more like a Tim Burton almost. He's too whimsical. I want to see Lobo.
They make
more,
the best.
More
they make the best movies.
All right. Yeah. Pan's Labyrinth, I wasn't really a big fan. Guillermo's Hellboy, it was all right. Like, I don't know.
The best Hellboy.
A lot of hype. It's a lot of hype around. I felt the best Hellboy was the second one. But yeah,
that was still Gold del Toro. He did the first two. He did those first two, and then
I mean the second actor, the second character, second version.
A lot of people hate the second version.
Yeah,
a lot of people hate the second version. Yo, did that other one come out? The other one was supposed to come out, right? Or is it out?
Yeah, the new one. No, it's out. It's good too. It's that one. I think is personally it's my favorite because it's the most like the comics. Yeah, it's the most like the comics. Like I said, Del Toro, he has a very whimsical style. His style is very much signature. You saw the movie Pan's Labyrinth and shit like that. Like,
yeah, I seen all. Yeah, I seen Pan's.
You feel like I see it. It feels like the same. He uses the same creatures in every movie. It feels like, it's the way he designs stuff. He did that show The Strain too, but I mean, and I'm not knocking him. It's just not. I don't picture Lobo with that. Like Lobo's a bounty hunter dude. He's not a fucking. Was he a fucking fairy? I mean, he's a bounty hunter. He's a biker. Like, come on.
Like Peter Jackson could do a good Lobo movie.
I mean, these are big blockbuster dudes, though. I don't like Michael Bay.
It's gonna be 4 hours long, but he could do it good.
Yeah. Like I think guys that make cool movies like Guy Ritchie are the type to make a Lobo film that I want to see. those kinds of movies. Like you've seen Snatch, right? Rock and
Snatch was
Roller.
good. Yeah, Snatch was good.
The Robert Downey Jr. Fucking Sherlock Holmes were great. Dude, I can't
Those
think
were
of
really
Guy
good.
Ritchie's films right now, but dude, look up Guy Ritchie's movies, bro. I'm telling you, like that is fucking. That's a great style to make Lobo. Like I don't want to see a big
No Tim
blockbuster Lobo
Burton's.
movie. Like
No Tim Burton's. No Richie Cunninghams and nothing like that.
yeah, no, hell no, man. I'll show you right now. Hold on. Pulling it up right now. All right, Richie, it says let's see.
Now, if he did it in style of
Oh,
The
fuck
Gentleman,
that. I'm
I
gonna
would
just
like it.
look up his movies here. Guy
Yeah,
Ritchie,
he did The Gentleman. Yeah, he did The
Holly.
Gentleman. He did The Sherlock. He did a lot of movies I like Uncle.
Gentleman,
Man from
right?
Uncle, he
Yeah,
did that.
Uncle.
And that's an older TV series that he brought back to life. Like I liked it that.
Yeah.
Revolver was dope. That was one of his movies.
Revolver is one of my favorites.
Revolver was dope.
That's
Oh,
insane.
Revolver was yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Revolver, Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, fucking Snatch, King Arthur, Rock and Roller,
Everybody's favorite movie by him is that Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking
Lock,
Barrels.
Stock, and Smoke, Two Smoking Barrels. Yeah.
Everybody. I've never watched that, but everybody talk about it. I've never watched.
You never seen that?
No,
Oh,
I never saw it, bro.
yeah. Yeah.
So,
If you like
matter
Revolver
of
and
fact,
Snatch, you need to watch.
I say his best movie on there to me will be Wrath of Man. I watched that joint at work one night. I'm not gonna lie, I was blown away. Wrath of Man was good. That was just that blew me away.
I don't think I saw that one.
You ain't see Wrath of Man?
No. Oh, that's a recent one. Yeah, that with what's his name?
Jason Momoa.
Oh yeah,
Not just Jason Statham. That was good.
Jason Statham. Yeah, like that Covenant was good too. Covenant was pretty good too. That was Jake Gyllenhaal Afghan war
Covenant
movie.
was good.
Yeah,
Covenant was good. It was good.
Now the Will Smith Aladdin movie, I don't know nothing about. I didn't see that. I'm not going.
That was good, bro.
I didn't see
that movie. Yeah, Aladdin, Will Smith, that was good, bro. If you got Disney
Okay.
Plus, check that out. Yeah, that's good. That was very entertaining. He did a very good job. He did a very good job.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he's not going to be doing the Lobo movie. Sadly, I think he would have been perfect for it. But what we do know is that from Momoa, Lobo is a character that he's been dreaming of bringing to life, and for upwards of a decade at least. And there's been no word on what Gunn has planned for him in the DCU other than this role in this movie. But the comments about Arthur Curry in Peacemaker season 1 suggest that he might not be the Atlanteans' biggest fan, and so Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is currently scheduled to be the second DCU live action movie, and will be helmed by Cruella, the movie Cruella director Craig Gillespie. Anna Nogoria, Vampire Diaries, penned the screenplay after originally being hired to write the Supergirl movie starring Sasha Cale, which was the DCEU version, which we're not getting anymore. Sasha Cale was a short dark hair, looked very different, was more of like a, more of a, I'll call it woke Supergirl. Gunn is just going to go ahead and just give the fucking regular old Supergirl. Yeah, she's white. Yeah, she has blonde hair. Yeah, she has blue eyes. Who gives a fuck? People do. Like, who cares? But the DCU movie, Supergirl travels across the galaxy to celebrate her 21st birthday with Crypto, the Superdog. Along the way, she meets a young woman named Ruthie and winds up on a murderous quest for revenge. So it's definitely gonna be cool. And coming across Lobo in her adventures in space is really man, that sounds like really the kind of movie that I want to see, man. So I'm like, I'm kind of more excited for this Supergirl movie than anything, bro. Like that shit about to be lit. And I don't even, Supergirl. That's crazy when you got me hyped for Supergirl movie.
I'm excited because like we were saying before, the last Supergirl movie we got was just it was
Well, that was
something
a
else.
joke.
Yeah, it was. Well, look, wait a minute. It was a joke once we saw it, but I think before it came out, we were kind of hyped for it. But
Oh,
from what
right.
I read, it was supposed to be a Superman movie. I don't know why they just didn't go ahead and make the Superman movie and have somebody write a whole new Supergirl movie. I don't understand that. That just got past me somehow.
Yeah.
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
And it was so
Yeah,
bad.
I
It
didn't
was
even know that.
just so bad. Like nobody like people remember it, but they don't remember it. They're like, yeah, I remember the movie, but they couldn't tell you nothing about it. I have
All
yet
I
to
can
find
tell you is
somebody.
I had a crush on her. That's all I can tell you. That's all I remember.
Yeah, I think we all had one on. I want to find somebody that loved that movie. I want to find somebody that I can be like, hey, you see that old Supergirl? They'd be like, yo, it was the bomb. I want to
Yeah,
find somebody
I want
that
to see.
gives it all the praise in the world. Oh,
Yeah,
Supergirl, man, I love that film. I want to. I need
I
to
want to
find
see that
somebody that
too.
loves that movie. Yeah, I want to find that person.
Yeah. Well, um, one villain that I think never got his shot in the DCEU and deserves to come over is Deathstroke. And we
Yeah,
saw him in the after
yeah.
credit scene, and he looked amazing. And I was like, "Fuck, that was gonna be awesome." That was one of my biggest regrets about losing the DCU. Actually, it was pretty. It was like Deathstroke, Man of Steel, right? Like couple things, and but yeah, Joe Manganiello, maybe coming back as Deathstrokes, the same guy that we saw in the after credit scene. Hasn't done a lot of movies. He was famously the werewolf in True Blood back in the day on that show True Blood. Played Alcide,
Man,
but
listen, I'm like,
the rumor
I like
mill.
the True Blood at first, man.
Yeah, it was good at first. It was kind of like cool at first, but then it just
Yeah,
became like silly and
like
goofy and just like
yeah, way to the
way
left,
over the top.
way to the
Yeah,
left. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I held on as long as I could. I just couldn't finish that last season.
yeah.
But ever since it was announced that a Bane and Deathstroke team up film would be coming to the DC universe, one question has been on everyone's mind, and that's who is going to cast to play Slade Wilson? Is it going to be our very own Mod Slade, or is it going to be Joe Manganiello? I don't know. But while the director has made it clear that he wants to start mostly fresh with his reboot, he may consider Joe Manganiello's tenure as the character so short in the original universe that he could essentially it could be used essentially as a new actor because wasn't it a deleted scene that he was in, or was it after credit scene that
It was after
Deathstroke was
credit scene. He
in?
was in
Okay. Yeah.
was it Batman versus Superman at the end?
Yeah, it was the like
Okay.
post-apocalyptic world. Yeah, Slade said he's gonna play Deathstroke.
Because remember he came on the boat with oh, was it Batman versus Superman? It was
Yeah, he came in a boat. Yeah,
something. It was remember he got on the boat.
Joker, long
Jesse
hair Joker.
Eisenberg. Nah,
Oh,
it
it
was
wasn't with Joker. It
Jesse
was with
Eisenberg. It
Luther.
was
Oh,
Luthor. It was a Luthor. And even in that, he wasn't. He was Alexander Luthor. He wasn't Lex Luthor.
right. I was not a
Yeah,
fan.
yeah.
So much I didn't like
So
about that universe, man. I wasn't really mad when they were like, "Oh, we're gonna scrap it." I was like, "All right, yeah,
yeah,
cool,
Justice League. It was
yeah."
Justice League.
'Cause,
Yeah.
yeah, that was
Remember
butt. That movie was butt.
Justice League?
Yes, that shit was ass. Now,
The director's cut was way better.
director's cut was fire.
That was fire. Yeah. Director's cut was
Director's
bomb.
cut was crazy. It just,
Yeah.
but I still hated the Flash.
I
In
think
the
everybody in
director's
the
cut, I
world hated
still was like, "What the fuck are you doing, dog? What the fuck is this shit?" You ever seen the Flash do this bullshit?
Yeah.
Flash
Yeah, he
fucking
went like
goes
it.
like this. He's fucking he's not fucking a goddamn with this. I was because Flash is one of my favorite childhood characters, man. Like he was one of my top tier dudes when I was a little kid. I just liked how he looked. I remember even in the early 90s, they came out with a TV show that was crazy. I was like, yo, because I was a little kid. I didn't know how bad it was. I was like, that's the Flash. But Flash was cool, man. And, you know, I don't like the armor look. He was wearing a goddamn bicycle helmet. Come on. But Deathstroke, even though, and Deathstroke still looked pretty good in the movie. He had he was more of like an armored version, which is fine. It's Hollywood, so I expect that. But apparently, sadly, it seems Joe Manganiello doesn't fit into James Gunn's plans, according to a rumor by a scooper. One of these guys, they said that the studio is looking for a new actor to play Deathstroke in the upcoming movie, with Manganiello 100% not coming back to the role. And while this does disappoint a lot of fans, me included, it does keep the character's role in the new DC universe from being attached to that disastrous 2017 Justice League debacle. But who will play Deathstroke in the DC universe? While Joe has been by far the most popular actor floated to play Deathstroke, I mean, by far the fan base has overwhelmingly fan casted Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke, which is why he got the role in the first place, because he was already fan casted. But that doesn't mean that fans don't have other ideas about who Gunn could cast. Now, this includes a lot of usual big faces like your Keanu Reeves and Jensen Ackles, Tom Hardy, your basic, usual suspects. But one choice that has almost as much traction as the Joe character is Nikolai Coster-Waldau, who you probably don't know by his name, but played Jaime Lannister in Game of Thrones. I'd have to see it. I can't picture it. But I'm not. I can't write it off either because the dude that played Jaime Lannister, I seen him later in a movie where he played like a con, like a death row inmate that he was like a brutal, like a killer, and he was like a warrior and shit, and he had like a beard and he looked real rugged, so he didn't look like Jaime Lannister. And yeah, so that gives me some, it's some hope that it won't be ridiculous. But that's excuse me, that's the that's the fan casting. Yeah. But yeah, the Flash, he had an appearance in the Flash, like a little small cameo, meaning his agents have some sort of connection that can land him the role in the Deathstroke the Terminator, because that's Deathstroke's name, Deathstroke the Terminator. And there currently is no release date for the reported Bane and Deathstroke team up film. I really want to see a Bane and Deathstroke team up. That just sounds dope. Like I would never have in a million years dreamed that Hollywood would give us a Bane and Deathstroke team up movie. Like, get the fuck out
if
of
we
here.
if we did Deadpool and Wolverine and that was a success, if you did
Yeah.
that team up and didn't pull any strings like they did in Deadpool and Wolverine, you got a hit on your hands, bro. Matter of fact, you got the next box office smash hit. Period. Point blank.
They do it right.
But
Yeah.
Hollywood's not that smart.
We'll
If
see.
I was in charge somewhere in Hollywood, I'd be like, oh, yeah, let's do that. Let's make it a villain movie. We can just do what we got. They can just knock it out.
Well, that's what Gunn says he's doing. So, and I hope so. But I got this really cool image of so we saw Guy Gardner in the Superman trailer, and a lot of people were complaining about his bowl cut, and of course us, fans were like, no dude, like the bowl cut is what makes it dope. That tells me everything I need to know about the approach for this movie. Like that tells me a lot. That's awesome. But the more I kept analyzing the image, something just kept not sitting right. I'm like, why does this not, something ain't right about it? And then I saw this hilarious post on Instagram. You know what? I should have, maybe I did. Yeah, I did. All right. So I'm going to show you guys this picture in a minute. But yeah, the first trailer for the Superman joint, we plenty of stuff to be excited about in there, and one of those was the first glimpse of Nathan Fillion's version of the Green Lantern character, Guy Gardner, and we didn't get the polished Hal Jordan or the stoic, John Stewart, but Guy Gardner is more of a hot-headed, over-the-top, arrogant, nutty, just crazy ass dude, Green Lantern, that brings the charm that and the sarcasm and edginess, like that Gunn is well known for. So it's a great match. And funny as it seems, though, Guy Gardner's bowl cut definitely tells us a lot about Gunn's approach to the DCU. Its quirks, its humor, character-driven storytelling. And that's the thing. Character-driven storytelling is something that's been missing from superhero movies. Yeah.
For a long time, from a lot of movies.
Yeah.
That we get now. I mean, basically, I don't, a lot of these writers, I mean, you write something, it might be good to you, but in order for it to be great, it's got to be good to everybody else. So, like,
Good to somebody else, right?
exactly, not just you. You can't be the only person with this great idea and expect everybody to love it, because everybody's not going to see things the way you do. Everybody's not going to be like, oh man, yeah, that's great. And then people have their own ideas. They'll be like, if you write a story and then people are like, yeah, that's cool, but what you should have did, you don't have a good story. If you write a story and people's like, yo, I like that. They don't want to change anything, and they're like, yo, I kind of dig that. I think that's smooth. You got something good on your hands.
You got a hit. What's wrong with what's wrong? Why you say that? Am I good? I'm good. Yeah, but check it out though. Gunn gave us the bowl cut. So you look on the left and you see the bowl cut in the trailer, right? You look in the middle and you see how that bowl cut should have been. And you look on the right and you see where the comics have it. And that's why the one in the middle is how it should have been. That's why it doesn't look right to me. That's why it didn't hit for some people. See that?
Yeah.
You see the difference? The one on the left, the far left, or you're right, I don't know, the one from the trailer, it's not really a bowl cut. It's just bangs cut straight across his head, more like a Beatles cut. The one in the middle is a bowl cut where they actually shaved around the head with a bowl on top. Huge difference. Two totally different haircuts. And then you see the Guy Gardner comic, and that's how he has it shaved around the side. Look at that. Do you see that?
Yeah, that's a bowl cut. Yeah. The other one was like a Beatle. Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, it looked like a Beatles cut.
But yeah, that would be it would have been really great if they, and I don't know. Oh yeah, oh my bad. Yeah, I swallowed a little piece of bud, not a bug. A piece of bud. But yeah, the bowl cut just ain't quite where it needs to be. Movie magic, they could easily CGI that out. So I don't know. I hope honestly, man, I hope that they catch this error, man, and fix that, because how cool would it be? I mean, he looks cooler in the middle too. It just looks cooler. That Beatles shit just doesn't even look cool. He looks like the guy from fucking No Country for Old Men. No offense to that actor, but that's not Nathan Fillion. But I don't know.
Hey man, it is what it is. Hey, listen. On top of that, man, I gotta bang out, man.
All right, family.
Saturday
man.
night. I gotta be up just a little early. Saturdays.
Yeah, no, we just kicking it, man. We just chilling, man. So tonight, rather Wednesday we'll be back at 7 o'clock to chop it up with y'all, maybe 6:30, and we will go into all the good stuff that we got from Marvel coming up. We got the new Ghost Rider joint, Daredevil trailers, Fantastic Four. Before we do go though, I do want to tell you guys, we have the first look at the MCU's leader. So you know the guy from Hulk, right? With the big green head.
Oh yeah, I seen
Yeah. So
They
he's
still going forward with that. Bruh?
still going forward with him, and he's going to be played by the same dude that played him in, Tim Blake Nelson, who he was gonna turn into. We never really turned into him, but he kind of like we saw him like get the gamma shit dropped onto him or whatever, and he was like, in the Hulk movie, in the Ed Norton, wasn't it? It was the Ed Norton.
Yeah, Ed
Yeah, it
Norton
was the Ed
version.
Norton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Incredible Hulk.
So back in March of this year, 2024, he opened up about returning to the MCU as the leader after the Incredible Hulk hinted at his character Samuel Stern's transformation into the villain, revealing that he had a great time filming it. The actor shared that he was directly involved with the leader's look in the movie, explaining that he worked with Marvel, the team, and his wonderful makeup artist. And so hopefully, he said, I think people are going to be pretty excited about what this guy looks like. I'm really skeptical that he's going to look how he does in the comics, a big bulbous green dome. But if he doesn't, just another failure, man, for the MCU. But I hope so. We'll see, man. But yeah, man, you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Be safe, and we'll see you guys Wednesday. Peace.
Peace.